Hello everybody, welcome to Cutting Edge Aquatics. This is my first time fish room tour. This is my fish room / office. I work down here and I have my fish down here. What we're seeing is my 30-gallon long peacock gudgeon tank. The tank also has some rice fish and CPDs, plants, the sand and the dirt. The dirt has a mix of the fatherfish substrate and the normal mix of dirt added to the tank. And as you can see, the wood actually came from nature. The rocks and the plants came from nature as well, and the plants actually I purchased or I traded for, so forth. But as you can see, these are my gudgeons. The male is always doing his thing, showing off his colors. It's very difficult to get a good, clear shot of him. But you can see he's kind of over there right now behind that leaf. Yeah, so you can see there's another one right there. Very pretty fish. So they have spawned in the tank before. I probably need to offer a little more hiding places for the babies. I do have some PVC pipe in here to get them some places to spawn, lay their eggs and so forth. The tank's probably been set up for close to a year now. And like I said, that piece of driftwood came from nature. I actually love the piece of wood. I pulled it out of a river, and it's done really well. I don't really keep very difficult plants in my tank. I try to keep things simple. I don't do water changes, just top-offs, and the fish have been doing great. I haven't really seen any deaths whatsoever. And as you can see, these guys are doing great. There's some of the CPDs right there. They kind of hang out together. And then the rice fish, they kind of group together. And of course, the gudgeons, they stay together pretty much. All my tanks run off a central air system. It's a singular air pump that feeds air to all my aquariums. Trying to get a shot of that. So that's it right there. So the pump is actually behind that wall. It's in my I'm down in the attic. So this is, or I should say, I'm down in the attic. I'm down in the basement. So you can see I did some simple drilling, some flow control valves, metal flow control valves, and these feed the tanks. As you can see, there's a couple tanks right there as well. They're small tanks. They're actually just empty right now with some plants. I'm planning on doing some betta tanks there, some male and a female betta. Maybe try to do some breeding. Haven't really quite decided. They used to be shrimp tank, but I've actually since moved them. So all the tanks, like I mentioned, all feed off the same central air. So this tank here is my 60-gallon tank. I have a cold water or non-heated tank. It has CPD. Actually, it has white cloud mountain minnows in there. Shark. I apologize for that glare. I'm trying to get it. So there you go. That's a little better. So I got a red-tailed shark. This tank actually has 2 sponge filters. All my tanks have sponge filters, every single one of them. I like to run sponge filters on my tank as extra biological filtration. The plants probably are enough just by themselves, but they do offer clarity. Again, I apologize for that glare. I'm trying to, and I do like heavily planted tanks. This one has some driftwood and rocks, and a variety of nubias and Java fern, and a lot of different They're hardier type plants, so like I try to keep things simple for that from that standpoint. So this is a 65 or 60 gallon. Oh, the lighting. So the lighting on all my tanks are either like shop lights, some are just regular planted lights. A lot of the tanks, this one actually is one I purchased, but some of these tanks I actually were someone was giving away. The last tank I shared, the Peacock Gundam one, was actually given to me. So moving on to this tank is my corner 29 gallon. So this is a livebearer tank. Again, the substrate is same as the father fish supplement. It has some cribs and some different, some low-tech plants, water sprite, things like that, driftwood. So I have Plinies, mollies, and swordtails. Just like to kind of like see what happens. I have one single female black molly in there. I probably will try to add some more mollies to this tank at some point, just so I can see some more variety. But as you can see, it's there's some reflections going on. That is actually not a bubbler right there. The bubbler for this tank is in the back, the sponge filter. And again, there's the glare there. I apologize for that. So this tank, when I purchased it, actually leaked, and I ended up resealing it. And since then, it's been doing fine. And then I also like to have pothos plants on my tank. Eventually, I'm hoping one day these pothos will be able to connect, be able to wrap around this central air pipe. So for right now, you can see it's doing fairly well. You can see it's got lots of roots system starting down there. I'd say the pothos has probably been there for about 3-4 months. It's not crazy good development, mostly because I probably have a lot of plants, so if I don't get a ton of nutrients, they do okay. So moving on, this is a little 10-gallon column tank, and it's home to Neocardina, the yellow Neocardina shrimp. There are a lot of shrimp in this tank. I would say there's probably close to 50 shrimp. Every time I look in this tank, there's tons of shrimplets in here as well. There's some smaller ones right there. You can see them on the rock. And then there's on the bottom. And as far as lighting, it's actually the stock light that came with this tank. This is one of the ones I got that was donated or given to me. So I have some anubias, some java fern, and just basically some guppy grass. Some simple setup, but the shrimp seem to be doing this. Out of all my shrimp tanks, these guys seem to do the best in this tank. I'm not exactly sure why. It's the same water. It's pretty much the same plants, just doing a little better than these. Moving on, this is my Mbuna tank. And I apologize in advance for there's a few little scratches on this tank. But I have I have yellow labs, I have yellow ACIs, I have blue cobalts, I have some African jewel cichlids in here, which aren't Mbunas. So these are all just Mbuna cichlids. They're primary. You can see there's an algae clip there, and these guys mostly eat algae. I do give them a little other food as well. But the tank, I don't do anything to it other than just top off with water. There's a sump in this tank. Actually, it's a refugium. So I'm trying to open the refugium up. It's got a 20-gallon long refugium with pothos, about 3 different species of pothos down there. You can see this is the drain, and then the water over there, just the return over there. No heater on this tank. I found that the tank doesn't need a heater because the room stays around 70 and the pump keeps the water around like close to 78 and between 78 and 80. So you can see I do have some aggressive Mbuna here, but I actually don't really have a ton of aggression, just your typical, bickering here and there, but overall it's pretty calm. So this tank right here is my 29-gallon. There is a sponge filter on this. It's central air as well. And I have a little hang on the back bio wheel. These are babies that came from that other tank. I had a few heat females that were holding. So these are the cobalt blues, and I have some spotted cobalts as well. They were mixed in, so I must have bred with one of those spotted ones. So these guys have been here for about probably about 2 months, and these actually are for sale. So or I'm just gonna probably give them away or trade them for something, maybe for some other Mbunas. But these guys are doing great. I was actually just kind of just happened. Wasn't planning it. I was looking up the catcher and put her in here, and these guys are doing good. These two tanks here. So this one is CPD tank. I actually just added some water to it recently, but you can see it just got a really cool Java fern up there. There's some CPDs in here. You can kind of see it moving around a little bit. I used to have a lot more, and actually the population does seem to be coming back a bit. I'm going to be adding some more probably in the next couple of weeks or so. And this one down here is some jewel cichlids. There is one male down here and some babies. Unfortunately, the mama didn't make it. I took her out to move them into another tank, and for whatever reason she got stressed, and I put them back in here, and she never was able to recover. So unfortunately, there are babies in here. I'm not really seeing them at the moment, but they are in here. Maybe hopefully when I play this back, we'll be able to see them. Moving on to the next tanks. These are my shrimp tanks. So again, I apologize for the glare. There you go. That's a little better. So this is the 15 gallons. Those last two were 20s. The one prior to that was 29. This has some crypts and some manubius, kind of similar to the tall tank. There's blues in here. I actually think there are more than I'm seeing, but they have this dark substrate. I do see them swimming in the water column. So my plan is to get some white sand on here, kind of cap it with some white, and that will allow me to see the shrimp hopefully a little better. This bottom one is a 10 gallon. It has red cherry shrimp. So the top one has like the blue shrimp, and these have the reds. And there actually are a good amount of reds in here. Kind of a similar challenge. There's one right, oh, yep, there's one right there. Actually, I think I may have one. No, it's a red one on that branch right there on that plant. But yeah, so I'd say there's probably around like 20 shrimp in this tank. You can see them swimming around a bit. And this one seems to be doing pretty good. So this tank here is my 40-gallon acrylic, and this is also connected into the central area. These are our North American native tank. I have little sunfish in here, green sunfish, and some real, pretty simple setup. These guys seem to do pretty good. I don't really do anything. I have the same process as the others, just kind of let them do their thing. There are some darters in here, some shiners, and some of these little white minnows I got from the pet store. I just wanted to add some more fish with some different color variation. I know that's not true North American, but I would like to just, I guess technically they are from there originally, but I just thought it would be nice to add some color or some variation. So I'm pretty happy with them, and they're very peaceful. They get along good. They're all basically the same species. So, but you see there's some striped type of shiner in there, and they're getting pretty big. I bought them when I first got them. They were tiny. I caught them just little tiny things, but they've grown and they're doing good. This bottom tank is my guppy tank. So basically, these are all muck guppies. I try to strive for colorful males and females. I actually just regular the cheek guppies. I have fancy guppies. I have endlers. I have a lot of different varieties, and I just like having variety and just kind of like watching to see what I get. So I just keep it simple and same concept as the others as far as substrate goes and plants. But these guys are doing pretty good. I probably could use a little more plants in here. I do also like to keep these guys, have those, the lava rock. Seems to work out really well with the babies. They can hide in there. So this tank actually does seem to have more babies. So I may actually add some rock to this in my other, the livebearer, the corner tank there, to see if I get better babies. But the livebearer has so many hiding places. So, but this is the main fish room / office. And thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.